What's up guys, Fantasy Aristotle back for another video for you today, and today's video is going to be brought to you by our newest sponsor, Blue Chew. Guys, skip that awkward trip to the doctor's office and increase your confidence in the bedroom. Also, guess what? We'll save you money in the process. Just use our promo code SLUMP and get your first month subscription for free. That's right, for free. All you have to do is go to bluechew.com and use our promo code SLUMP, and you and your significant other can enjoy your first month for free at Blue Chew. So go ahead and check out our sponsor and we will get into this video. All right, so today's video is going to be all about those New England Patriots. They went on an absolute spending spree in the first week of free agency. They got the two best tight ends available in Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, and those are going to be huge for the re-signing of Cam Newton. They also brought on some receivers to help out that terrible receiver room of last year. They did bring in Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Agholor. They're going to join Jacoby Myers in that receiver room, and we'll see what happens with Julian Edelman, if he wants to return or not. Now let's talk about the fantasy aspects of some of these signings. Cam Newton, when they re-signed him, I was like, maybe he'll do better because he's going to have a full offseason to learn the offense. It'll be technically his second year. Last year, we really can't count. No offseason, no real players to throw the ball to skill-wise outside of James White. Belichick loves to sprinkle in his running backs whenever he wants to, so you can't really rely on those guys. He did have 8 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. He did have a few rushing touchdowns and a few, I believe he had one 100-yard rushing game, so you can always rely on that for a base fantasy-wise as well. But with the addition of Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry at the tight end position, I do believe he's going to be a solid quarterback 2 next year. Definitely good for your 2 QB leagues, or if you want a streaming quarterback, bye-week filler, injury replacement, Cam will be a very comparable guy to have. You're not going to have a ton of confidence in him, but Cam's definitely going to throw more than 8 touchdowns this year, especially with Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. Both of those guys, I believe, are going to be tight end 1s this year. The big thing is going to be determining who has the bigger week in and week out, because this game might be Hunter Henry, this game might be Jonnu Smith. We might have 2 games of Hunter Henry, then 3 games of Jonnu Smith. But I still believe they're going to be the 1 and 2 guys on this offense. Belichick and McDaniels love their tight ends. Think about how Gronk and Aaron Hernandez did when those two were playing together. Cam loves his tight ends. Look at Greg Olsen. He tried with tight ends last year, but they really didn't have anybody on the roster. So these guys are going to be super good. Kendrick Bourne will probably be your wide receiver 4 or 5. I tend not to trust him. He was a lower guy on the Niners. I just don't see a lot of work going his way between Jacoby Myers and Nelson Agholor. I do believe the receiver to own is going to be actually Nelson Agholor, which is going to be weird for your Eagles fans who know he likes to drop the ball. He did fairly well in Las Vegas, so there is hope for him. We'll see what Cam can do to him, but he'll be a high upside wide receiver 3, maybe a weekly, depending on matchup, flash in the pan wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. But I believe he's going to live right there in the wide receiver 3. If he's there, go ahead and snag him up if there's nobody else in there and you need a receiver to kind of fill out your roster. So I really think that's going to be, we'll see what they do with the tight ends, but I believe that's going to be really it with the offense. They are retooling their defensive line, their secondary as well on defense. So they'll be in a lot of games, which means they're going to be throwing the ball because they're going to be right there in the games. Unlike last year where they're kind of out of some of these games and you really couldn't rely on any of these Patriot players. Fantasy-wise, back in the day, you were able to use Brady, Gronk, Edelman, and James White. Now, last season, you really couldn't rely on any of them, but now you'll be able to. Cam, like I said, definite quarterback 2. I'll probably pick him up 16th round, maybe free agency if I need one of those streaming quarterbacks, or in my 2 QB league. Definitely going to take a hard look at getting him. Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, just depending on where they slot, maybe the 5th tight end, 6th tight end, whatever. But those two are going to be monsters. Jonnu Smith is really good after the catch, and they're both huge red zone targets. I mean, huge. Look at some of Hunter Henry's tapes. I'm a Chargers fan, so I know how well he is on 3rd down and in the red zone. It's going to be a big loss for the Chargers. Big gain for the Patriots. They are retooling, not rebuilding. They're just retooling. They're spending a whole bunch. And guess what? We had to remake this video because they were just spending and spending and spending.
It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
So that'll be it for this video. We'll be back with you guys here in a little bit to talk about some other teams and some free agency news. So on that note, we will see you next time.